Fortunately, we can turn a relationship around. If you're struggling, if you're feeling hopeless, like nothing works, no matter what you've done, nothing seems to change things, you can't get on the same page with your partner, you keep having the big old fights, you just can't find happiness together, and you're about to throw in the towel, don't do it yet. There is a way to turn your relationship around. I'm Emma Viglucci from metrorelationship.com. We specialize in working with couples. We help them get unstuck, get on the same page, increase their connection, their intimacy, and their fun, and turn their relationship around. If you're interested in finding out more about our work, feel free to check out our services on our website. You could click on the link above to get an initial session and to see if we're a good fit to work together. We could help you turn your relationship around as well. Now, for today, I want to talk about element 1 of our successful relationship strategy. So I've already introduced this series with the prior video, so feel free to check that out. In that video, I cover the 5 elements of the successful relationship strategy. Today, I want to go more in depth in element 1. So a little background on this. The successful relationship strategy came to be after us working with many couples over 2 decades plus and seeing what works for helping couples create their transformation. So I created this strategy, pulled out all of the things that I've seen that work, that help couples have their transformation, and boil it down into these 5 elements. That's what I'm sharing with you in this series. The 5 elements, quick overview, are context and mindset, which I'm going to cover today. And that has to do with how you look at things and how you experience your relationship in a nutshell. Element 2 is communication and alignment. That's how you improve your communication. Element number 3 is clarity and dynamics. That's how you change all of your patterns and all of the things that hurt you, and you do the healing. Number 4 is connection and intimacy. That's how we help you date each other again and increase your passion, your love, rekindle your love, and have fun. And number 5 is collaboration and partnership. And that's how we help you work together, be a strong team, collaborate, have each other's back. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's the strategy, and that's the work that we do with couples, and that's something that you could do as well. In the description, I put a link to get it downloadable to help you have this overview of these 5 elements and to help you start working on them on your own if you're interested in doing that for yourself. So feel free to get that and play with it and have fun. Okay, so without further ado, here we go into element 1. And FYI, I will be doing the other elements for this strategy in this playlist, in this series. Okay, so just stay tuned for the other elements coming down the road. But for now, let's get into element 1. Okay, so element 1, like I mentioned, is context and mindset. And it has to do with empowering yourself. It has to do with how you look at your relationship, at life, what kind of belief systems you have, what kind of mindset you have, how you experience things, what lens you put on that you look through that tints and colors your experience, and how you look at things and how you experience things. And so with this particular element, what we want to do is upgrade what you have going on that is not serving you. Okay, so I'm going to cover this from 3 angles today. I'm going to give you highlights on the main takeaways about this element so you have an understanding of how this element works and you can start playing with these concepts. And then in future videos, probably outside of this series, I'm going to go even more in depth about specific things that you could do to continue to upgrade your mindset and continue to shift this particular element so that you could create a bigger shift in your whole relationship and turn things around. Okay, so number 1. this is the philosophy of the relationship, or the way that you look at things. So with this one, what we want to do is realize and own and be open to the idea that our relationship is a playground and that our partner is our playmate for life. If you believe in monogamy and depend on other belief systems, but you see, this is where it gets tricky, right? So I'm not going to go so much in depth about all of the belief systems that might need to be cleaned up for this to work, but I'm just going to give you some overview, some highlights here, just to start getting into the swing of things. And then as we play together more with these elements over the course of other videos, you could continue to upgrade belief systems and things as we go, okay? But for now, the belief that I would invite you to take on is that our partner is our life partner, the partner with a capital P, right? They're the most important character in our story aside from ourselves. So they are our partner in creating the life that we're meant to create, or that we want to create. They are the person who is a mirror to help us see the places and things about us that need polishing, that need spiffing up, that need improving, enhancing, healing, whatever, all the things, right? So and the way that works is because when they are a mirror, when we are interacting with them and they have a reaction to us, that shows us there is something there for us to polish, massage. And that's information for our own evolution. That's the partnership. That is the real partnership. Right? Yes, they are our life partner in creating our joint vision and dealing with the everyday of life and creating beautiful children if we want children, like that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, they are the partner to help us become our best version of ourselves, to help us become who we truly are, without all of the fences, all of the programs, all of the things, so that we could be the most vulnerable, the most authentic, in our real us. That's what that partnership is really all about. That gets totally lost in translation when people think about their relationship and their marriage, okay? If you take on this lens, if you put on this lens and you take on this concept, if you embrace this, it is so liberating, because then your partner is not that annoying person who leaves the socks on the floor or who doesn't do the dishes or who talked a little funny or who had a quick reaction to you. You see, those things that become so irrelevant. And I'm not saying that it's okay not to honor commitments, not to show up with our best selves, not to have good habits. I'm not saying any of that, okay? But what I'm offering is that we could transcend the minutia of life and of interactions when we take on that mindset. If we look at our partner as that partner with a capital P, we could work almost anything out. Almost anything is workable. Okay, you could get on the same page so much easier, because then there is grace for this other human being who's also on a journey, who's also trying to become their best self, who's also having a human experience. And we support each other in that. Just like they are the mirror for us, we are the mirror for them. You see, how beautiful is that? When we look at our relationship like this, that is like a divine partnership. That is, our partner is a gift, and they should be treated as such, which gets addressed in other elements, okay? But for now, just shifting that mindset and embracing this mindset is huge. So the relationship is the playground, where in this partnership we get to play and we get to practice, we get to role play, we get to experiment, we get to try things on, we get to create and manifest and enjoy and live and experience. You see, So in that partnership, we get to have exchanges and interactions in this playground where we're living our life. And when we operate from that place, it is so freeing because we don't have to get hung up on all of the little things where imperfection is showing up. We could address them from a higher perspective, from the higher road, if you may, and it's a much different interaction, much more rewarding, much more easy, and much more satisfying and joyful and loving. And it just feels so much better because you are making much more headways than if you go at it as your partner being an adversary as opposed to an ally. Okay, so that's point number one that I wanted to make for today in terms of mindset. Point number two has to do with empowering ourselves, with owning all of ourselves, not with victimizing ourselves, not with placing blame or blaming circumstances, pointing fingers, making our partner the bad guy, trying to make all the people, our partner, all the people wrong, right? Trying to prove ourselves wrong. It has to do with owning all of it. Our whole life is really about us. And it might sound selfish the way I say that, but who is the key character, right? If we're not playing our part, if we're not the main character, there is no story. If we're not in it, there is no story of us, right? That's almost like just too logical. And so as the main character, everything is about us, and therefore we're in control and in charge of all of it. Now, let me clarify because people hear that wrong. That does not mean that everything needs to be your way, that everything is for you, that you should always do everything for you. Like, it means that you are in charge of everything that affects you. How you look at it determines your experience and your feelings. You are in charge of your thoughts. You are in charge of your feelings. You are in charge of your actions. Nobody else is. No matter what you're doing, you still have a choice on how you look at it, how you choose to react, respond, do, boundaries you set. Like, all of that is about you. That's all the stuff that you have control over, right? People don't own that. They owned what other people should be doing. We have no control there. There was nothing that we could do about that. And so with this, what I want you to do is think of a couple of things. Ownership, fully owning all of ourselves, everything about us, not having excuses and reasons, fully accountable, full stop, right? And setting appropriate and effective boundaries. That I'm going to do more on in another video. That's just too much to cover in this one. But so for now, just to give you a little taste so that you have something, imagine that there is an invisible hula hoop around your body. Inside this hula hoop, inside your circle, it's everything about you, like I've been saying. And there are things in here like your ethnicity, your thoughts, your feelings, your history, your genes, your health, your body, your emotions, your actions, how you look at things, whether you like a strawberry ice cream or not, what time you like to brush your teeth in the morning or not. Everything about you is in your circle. And everybody has a circle. Now, what partners like to do is to go in their partner's circle. They leave their own circle and they go in their partner's circle, right? So now their circle's empty. Nobody's minding and owning their business, their circle. And the other person's circle is crowded. Now, people not only like to go into their partner's circle, but they like to go into everybody's circle, right? So their circle's really empty and disempowered, Because if we're not there, who's going to take care of the business? There's no empowerment in that. And the other circle is crowded, which means that the owner, the initial owner of that circle, shrivels, gets crowded, shuts down, withdraws, leaves. And then we wonder, how come our partner's not there? Think about that, okay? Mental note around, if I'm all up in my partner's business, then I wonder, how come my partner's not available? How come my partner's not showing up? Okay? So our job is to make sure we stay in our own circle. We take care of all of the things that have to do with us, and we let others take care of their circle and all of the things that have to do with them. Yes, there's an overlap when there's a relationship. The key here is to bring the best stuff of ourselves into the middle, into the overlap. Not the trash, not the crumbs, not the crapola, right? That's how we create an amazing relationship. Now, there's a lot more to say about this, okay? That's just a little highlight for now to give you this concept. But so what I want you to do is catch yourself being in your partner's circle or in other people's circle. And instead, when you recognize it, say, oh, I'm in your circle, so sorry, come back into your circle. That looks something like telling somebody how to feel, how to think, what to do. We are not the boss of them. We're not the boss of anybody. Not even our children. Some of us think that we own our children, and children are their own human beings with their own journeys, with their own things. Our job is to be the guardian, the teachers, not the owners. So once upon a time, when people used to own people, when men used to own women and they used to own children, like how crazy of a world was this, right? And slaves and just owning people. People can't own people. That is just such a ridiculous concept. Think about that. Like, what have we done, right? But I digress. So for this conversation, we own ourselves. We teach and guide our children. We don't own them, right? We teach them how to own themselves and how to connect with themselves, learn themselves, know themselves, show up with themselves, all that. That's another video. But for now, for this conversation, we own our own circle. We do not own other people's circle. We catch ourselves if we're telling other people what to think, what to do, what to behave, how to behave, what to feel, how they should be, what they should do, how they should do themselves, right? Whenever we catch ourselves either saying or thinking, because a lot of times I know that you do this, you say to yourself, well, I didn't say that to them. You thought it. It doesn't matter. Remember, we're all interconnected at the end of the day. Your partner still feels that energy if you're in their circle, even if you're not saying it. Catch yourself with that thinking or with those words and come back. Take it back and speak from your circle. The issue that people have with this is that they say, well, they're doing all this stuff wrong. Are they? Why is it wrong? Because you do it differently? Now, listen, certain things are more clear that there might be a wrong way of doing it. Still, you could talk about that or address that from your circle. So you could say things like, when I do it this way, this is how it works, and it works well. Or we agreed, because these people get hung up on this too, partners break agreements, that's different, right? So you can't tell them what to do. Instead, you say, we agreed that this would happen, and when you don't follow through with an agreement, it hurts my feelings, so this is what happens to me, right? Now I'm late. Now I don't have food. Now there's no money in the account. Now the children got hurt, or whatever, you see? Now the car got crashed into. There are consequences. And so you address it from that place. Now how your partner sucks, or what they should do, what they shouldn't do. You speak from your circle, how you're impacted, how that affects you. And then from there, you get on the same page about follow through, what to do from there, right? So that's the communication aspect of that. And that's in element 2. So we'll come back to that. But for now, I'm not giving this to you so that it feels restricting. Like, oh, I can't say anything. I can't talk about anything. I can't address things. That is not true. When you start applying this concept and you start speaking from your circle, your partner doesn't feel attacked, other people even, right? So not just you, this doesn't apply to just your partner. The other person doesn't feel attacked. They could stay in the conversation and attuned to you, connected to you. They could hear you and respond much better than if you're telling them what to do and how to be and what they're doing wrong and how they suck. So the defenses come up and then they're no longer available, you see? So I promise you, if you do this shift, it's not that you can't address things, it's that you address them a little bit differently and then everybody's empowered. And I promise you, your needs will get met so much differently and better when you speak this way. When you take on the concept of the circles, massive shifts. When we teach it to our clients, they're just super excited about this, like immediate changes. Okay, so in the concept of the circle, that's another easy way to set boundaries, which is you could say to your partner if they're in your circle, it goes both ways. If they tell you what to think, how to feel, how to act, and what to do, you could be like, honey, I think you're in my circle, or it feels like you're in my circle, or I feel crowded, right? It feels like you're in my circle. Kindly, can you say that differently from your side? Like, what do you need? How can I help? What are you trying to say without being in my space? You could use language that doesn't sound clinical. It's not too formal or contrived. Or like you could say this in a very natural, organic way. Like, dude, get out of my circle, right? And if you said lightly with a laugh, with a smirk, you say, Emma said you might be in my circle right now. Whatever, right? So it could be very playful and light and fun, and it works. So give it a shot. Okay, so that was point number 2 for self-empowerment. Point number 3, embrace a relationship enrichment mindset. Now, this is where things get really fun because you could intentionally apply concepts, habits, tactics, perspectives to your interactions, to how you set yourself up, how you tackle your day, how you tackle your routines, things that you pursue, things that you got to engage in with whole life. And that intentionality pays massive dividends because you're not just banging around, you're focused and you're showing up with your best self to the best of your ability, right? So I'm not going to say all of the time because we're all imperfect at the end of the day, and that's perfectly fine. So with this one, what we want to do is decide what kind of relationship we want to have, what kind of partner we want to be, what kind of marriage we want to have, what kind of family we want to have, what kind of family life, what kind of lifestyle, what kind of life at the end of the day. What is our purpose? What is our cause? What is our mission? What is our flavor to our life? Like, you could explore all of these things. So I didn't say all of that stuff to stress you out like, oh my gosh, I don't know any of that stuff. These are just things to explore and play with, because the more that you explore and play with these concepts, these ideas, the more that you're designing a life that you choose, and you're not creating a life by default. And so with this one, what we want to do is be very intentional about what we want to create. We could think about it, we could ponder, we could journal, we could meditate on it, we could pray on it, we could talk about it, we could do research, we could talk to our partner about it and explore their likes, their dislikes, their preferences, their dreams, their wishes. And then there is no right or wrong. Please don't start fighting with each other because you might have different ideas of your dreams and what kind of life you want to create. It's so good. That conversation in and of itself is a beautiful conversation. This is where you learn yourselves and each other. This is where you co-create. This is where you flesh things out. You kick it around, you bang it around a little bit, you massage it. Before you know it, you find that commonality and that common ground, the thing to create multiple things. It's all good. It's all a journey. It's all for both of you. There is no wrong. There's nothing's wrong. Everything is perfect. It's just a matter of how you choose to play and what kind of experience you want to have. Okay, so quick overview. We are talking about element 1, context, the whole picture of our life and our relationship, and mindset, and how to create the relationship that we want, a successful relationship and an amazing, meaningful life. To that end, there are 5 elements to this strategy. The first one is the context and mindset. And today we covered element 1. And within this element, we cover 3 points. Number 1 was that philosophy, that mindset about how to look at our partner. Number 2 was how to self-empower, set boundaries on ourselves. And number 3, how to embrace a relationship enrichment mindset. To that one, I want to add a little bit more, which is to be specific around how to go about creating that lifestyle, the enrichment lifestyle. And this is going to be a takeaway, okay? So that is to schedule a dreaming session with your partner, with yourself / with your partner, or with yourself first, then with your partner, however you like to do it. This dream session is to explore all of the things that I shared in that point 3 and to play with it, to break it down, to make it concrete, and to integrate it into your lifestyle. So, for example, you might say you want to have this kind of lifestyle, like an adventurous lifestyle. So if you want to have an adventurous lifestyle and you never leave your house, that is not very adventurous, right? And so that might be something that you say, oh, interesting. I didn't realize that I wanted that. And if that's what we want, or that's what I want, how do you feel about that, partner? Yes, no, maybe some of it, whatever. Okay, so how can we introduce some of it that we're both okay with into our current lifestyle? You see? And then you take concrete action to start integrating the thing. Going for little adventures, little trips, little outings that feel like get you out of your comfort zone, stretch you, help you experiment, explore, whatever. That's what you schedule into your calendar, your life. And that's how you create the life that you want at the end of the day. Create a cadence with dreaming sessions to explore the lifestyle. And that intentionality is the enrichment part. When you're actually investing in your relationship and what you create. Relationship enrichment lifestyle is investing in your relationship and being intentional. Scheduling dream sessions where you get to explore and play with all these things. And then from those dream sessions, you're going to have little takeaways, practical, actionable steps to go take to create change in your life. If you have any questions about any of the 3 points that I made for element 1, feel free to post them in the comments. Feel free to ask all the questions, pick my brain. I would love to hear from you. And again, if you're interested in working with us, feel free to get an initial session with us. The link is also in the description box. Feel free to check us out. And also, if you like the content today, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to share this with your loved ones. Click the bell so that you get notifications when we post any new content. And if you're in another platform and not in YouTube, feel free to follow us, like us, comment us, share us, all the fun things so that we engage with you and we could support you in your life and in your relationship. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you at the next one. Bye.